pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. So how does one begin a commencement address to the class of 2020? Any class of 2020? Where do I begin a commencement address to our beloved Serna Lancers? It's something which I've been wrestling and putting off the last few weeks, mostly out of hope that the conditions and circumstances which we find ourselves would change and improve. Yet here we are, mid-July, me looking into a camera instead of looking onto your beautiful faces, and you looking into a screen rather than sitting in the field at Thorstenson Stadium surrounded by family and friends. Here we are indeed. But if I've learned anything about your class over the last 4 years at La Serna, I know that you will not stay here. You're moving forward already. Each year in preparation for the address, I watch a couple of my favorite commencement speeches on YouTube for inspiration. Puts me in a seasonal mindset, helps me to look forward to the grandeur of the event. One address I've listened to every year since I've been principal is from writer David Foster Wallace's address to the Kenyon College class of 2005. He starts his address with a cheesy but amusing parable. It goes like this. There are two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" The two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks at the other one and says, "What the heck is water?" Mr. Wallace then sets out to make the case that the real value of a real education has almost nothing to do with knowledge and everything to do with simple awareness, awareness of what is real and essential, and hidden in plain sight all around us all the time. He challenges the graduates to take control of any mental default settings that are centered in a negative view of the world around them. Each year when I listen to Mr. Wallace's address, I'm challenged in new ways to speak to you and new ways to see the world. But our collective view of the world changed by historic proportions in March. Our routines that we've had for most of our lives changed. Many of them stopped. The scramble to find a new normal, whatever that means, was buried in devolving chaos. I don't need to provide you with a play-by-play because we've all been living it. This is the part of my speech where I tend to recount all that you've accomplished as a class, and you have achieved so much. But there should have been so much more. More experiences, more memories, more performances, more championships. So before I move on, I feel the need to say this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that this is what's becoming your senior year. This pandemic has robbed so many of so much, some of everything. The fact that you've been robbed of so many important and beautiful experiences, including a proper graduation, is heartbreaking. I'm sorry that you've had to endure. But endure you have. I also recognize our incredible teachers, counselors, support staff, and administration. There just wasn't a template for how to conduct school from home for a classroom at home before March. There wasn't a school for pandemic for dummies book, although I'm sure there will be. There was a collective decision and dedication to you and helping to get you through your senior year, and it never wavered. It wasn't simple, it wasn't pretty, and we all learned so much in the process. Lancers, you've been a remarkable class to be sure. I have been so proud to witness your transformation from curious freshmen to graduates who are scholars, leaders, poets, athletes, musicians, and artists. Your acceptance and commitment to each other is inspiring. You shared your stories, listened without judging, and engaged and activated in the quest for social justice. You're changing yourself and your community like no other class before you. I'll always contend that while the class of 2020 certainly drew the short stick when it comes to the experience as a senior year, the education you received was second to none. In the party introductions of your future, whether it's on an on-campus event or at a corporate holiday celebration in your future careers, you have been gifted the ultimate icebreaker. You are the class of 2020. Those 3 words will require no further elaboration. No spring break, no prom, no closing assembly, no track meets, no season of sports. None of those programs had a chance to match the Lancers water polo team winning the CIF championship this year. You didn't get to see what was certain to be a memorable and elegant presentation of Beauty and the Beast from our brilliant theater department. Their show was canceled the day everything stopped. But I believe with all my heart that you got the education of a lifetime. Few of us can recount a specific class or paper we wrote when considering what we learned in high school. The education provided to you during the spring and summer will last a lifetime and will be one of the most profound experiences of your lives. It wasn't easy. In fact, it was mostly terrible. But so are many of life's most important lessons that challenge us to our core. They shape us, they mold our minds and hearts. The memories with which they leave us impact our choices by wrapping us in an evolved perspective. Toward the end of Mr. Wallace's message, he challenges the Kenyon graduates to determine what is capital T true in their lives and strive to live an authentic life. He encourages them to adjust their view of the world, consider alternatives to any negative default settings that may tinge how they view their neighbors in this world. Instead, consciously choose to consider possible, unseen, extenuating circumstances before judging others. This is tough to do during a global pandemic, but it's even more important to do during a global pandemic. The most important elements of our lives and legacies are ultimately how we live our lives day by day, no matter the circumstances presented, while cutting everyone a giant break. David Foster Wallace continues his remark by answering that young fish rhetorical question: what the heck is water? It's not about the big fancy questions like life after death. The capital T truth is life before death. It's about the real value of a real education, which almost has nothing to do with knowledge and everything to do with simple awareness. Awareness of what is so real and so essential, so hidden in plain sight all around us all the time, that we have to keep reminding ourselves over and over. This is water. This is water. Lancers, I encourage you to live kindly, live compassionately, live consciously. This complicated world needs you. I wish each of you a very heartfelt thank you and congratulations. As we graduate on to the next steps of our lives, I will always remember the class of 2020. It has been my privilege to be your principal. On behalf of the entire Serna staff, I wish you a lifetime of blessings and good fortune. Thank you and congratulations.
Welcome staff, family, friends, teachers, and the class of 2020. My name is Katie Nye, and I'm your ASB president. I wish these circumstances were different and I could be welcoming you in person, but just know that the situation doesn't make our accomplishment any less. For many of us, we will look back on high school and will remember the coronavirus and all of the things that we lost and how our senior year came to a sudden halt. However, that's not what the class of 2020 is about. If we've learned anything in the last 4 years, it's that we are strong, we are resilient, we are determined, and we are the future. We have learned how to see things differently, how to make things happen in the midst of chaos, and how to be flexible in the face of adversity. As friendships and relationships have been tested, we have come to a realization of what is truly important: each other. We are more determined, we are more grateful, and we are even stronger than we could ever imagine. So, to the class of 2020, I challenge you this. When you think back to your high school years, do not think only of what we've lost. Remember that when life is uncertain, we do not crumble and we do not fail. Why? Because we are the Serna Lancers and we are the class of 2020. It has been my honor to have spent the last 4 years with you all. Congratulations, class of 2020, we did it. And for the last time as high school students, let me remind you, you are loved.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, parents, family, staff, teachers, and hello, class of 2020. My name is Juliana Acosta, but everyone knows me as Juju. I am the senior class president, and I am here to say my last words to this wonderful class, so here it goes. Dear seniors, who would have thought that we would have been in this position at this time? Who would have thought that we would have been experienced the latter half of our senior year from behind a computer full of frustration because we had our last couple of days ripped away from us? Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the world around us would come to a halt and that the ones who wore scrubs and masks night upon night fighting and healing were and will forever be the heroes that saved this world? We were all ready for the last chapter of our high school years. 12 years we waited, 12 years we strived for greatness, 12 years spending countless hours studying, and sometimes even going to school on only 2 hours of sleep. No one expected this to happen, nor knew how to handle this, but the teachers, staff, administrators, and the class as a whole came together and conquered the many obstacles that came before us. And even as times became rough and abnormal, every Lancer grew, learned, and became the best version of ourselves. When writing this, it took a lot out of me to oversee this tragedy that struck upon all of us. I kept staring at this mountain, and every time I looked at it, I never saw an ending nor hoped to overcome it. But then I was scrolling through my camera roll, seeing the pictures and videos, these moments that recapped our happiest days. I'll admit, I did cry. Not only because I was missing my class, or the crowded halls, or the red tables that most of us sat at, or even the stairs that documented most of our pictures, but because I knew that we were all ready for the future and what was to come, and finally over the fear of never succeeding. As I replayed all these memories, I just sat there, so proud of each one of you. All the hundreds of unique personalities and different lives here today that put aside all differences and became closer than ever. And you may not agree, but trust me, I have been your president for 4 years and just standing back admiring the growth and prosperity of my class. As I scroll through these memories, I recap seeing us going crazy at Stag, dancing like there was no tomorrow, and of course seeing someone crowd surf. I saw us all sitting there at senior sunrise on the damp grass in our pajamas at 6 o'clock in the morning, waiting for the sun to arise that represented the start of our beautiful senior year. Being at the assemblies and not expecting the proud uproar and chanting of finally being a senior. Being at Friday Night Lights, screaming until we lost our voices, waiting for the bleachers to break from all the jumping and the band playing the songs we will always remember, and even seeing the big cloud above us from Baby Power. Sorry, admin. At times like these, even if we all knew that they would come to an end eventually, we did not have one care in the world. We forgot about all worries. We had the most successful spirit days out of all 4 years I have been in ASB, and we danced the pursuit of happiness hundreds of times, making it our forever senior anthem. And in these moments, we felt infinite and became the unforgettable class of 2020. Going through these years like pages flipping from the first chapter of freshman year, the second chapter of sophomore year, and the third chapter of junior year, and finally, the last chapter of senior year. Our freshman year, the year of innocent, simple, and awkward teenagers entering the green gates of the kingdom, just trying to fit in to be invited to every quinceañera almost every weekend. Our sophomore year, the most uneventful and weirdest times of our high school years because we were underclassmen that wanted to be upperclassmen. However, this was when we were starting to become familiar with the school and seeing what Serna was all about. Our junior year, the first year of being upperclassmen, first year of experiencing prom, and the first year of the most stressful times that dragged on, feeling like it was never ending. Finally, our senior year, the one that we never wanted to end, experiencing our last first everything. Every moment, we either cherished it, filmed it, lived it to the fullest, or captured it on our disposable cameras. Some of us applied for colleges, finally seeing our hard work paying off. Some of us will go off to the military, thank you for your service. And some of us will go straight into the workforce, but I mean, look at Bill Gates, there's always a way. I know we are all not ready to close this book yet or develop this film of memories, but I want you to know that it's going to be okay. At some point, we all close a book and put it on our shelf to one day tell it again, and all of these memories will become our story. One day when we are all grown and this part of our lives will literally be in the history books, we can at least tell our children that we lived through a zombie apocalypse. But who would have thought that the toilet paper would have been more of a necessity than food? As awful as this pandemic was, these memories will forever stick with us and make the class of 2020 go down in history. Graduation, the end of a journey, the end of crossing paths every day, the end of making friends in high school, the end of our teenage days doing who knows what, the end of all being together for the last time as Lancers, as family, as belonging to somewhere as loving and kind as a school. This is bittersweet, but it is the start of an amazing future, the start of starting over, the start of rewriting our wrongs and learning to become someone we've always wanted to be, the start of something new, the start of a new decade. My classmates, friends, family, teachers, thank you. Thank you for giving me these unforgettable memories. Until we meet again, I wish you all luck in your near future. Congratulations, seniors. Remember, Lancers, you are beautiful, you are kind, you matter, and most importantly, for the last time, you are loved.
Each year, the Board of Trustees of the Whittier Union High School District bestows the Board of Trustees Award on the graduates who have been designated as the valedictorians and salutatorians of their graduating classes. Even though our traditional graduation activities have necessarily been modified in the circumstances of a worldwide pandemic, the Board of Trustees recognizes the importance of honoring the achievements of all of our graduates to the greatest permissible extent. In particular, we are continuing the tradition of presenting a special award to the seniors who've been designated by their schools as valedictorians or salutatorians of the graduating class. As the president of the Board of Trustees in this challenging year, it is still truly a pleasure to recognize 5 La Serna High School students, all valedictorians, for achieving and maintaining the highest standard of excellence in their academic work. It is also true that in each case, these students have involved themselves in non-academic activities and service, both on and off the Serna campus. Because we know that these students have excelled in their classes and activities because of the support that they have received at home, we want to acknowledge parents too, as we recognize these students with the Board of Trustees Award. Our first award is given to Elizabeth Vasquez. As with our other honorees, Elizabeth has excelled in the most rigorous classes that Serna, or any other high school for that matter, has to offer. In those classes, she has achieved an astonishing 4.58 grade point average. Perhaps I should explain, especially for members of my own generation, that the grade point average is calculated so that the most challenging courses, advanced placement and honors classes, are weighted on a 5-point scale instead of the traditional 4, as an incentive to enroll in those classes. In Elizabeth's case, she earned that GPA by completing 36 semesters of honors and advanced placement coursework. But Elizabeth is not someone to keep her nose only in her books, or on her laptop, I guess I should say. Elizabeth has been a scholar athlete during her 4 years at Serna and a member of the girls soccer team for which she was a team captain. Elizabeth served as an academic mentor for chemistry and was a member of the class council and sports editor of the yearbook. Her outstanding score on the PSAT, coupled with her GPA, earned her national Hispanic recognition while earning a stellar 4.58 grade point average. In the fall, she will attend Johns Hopkins University to study biology with a plan in the future to attend medical school and become a pediatrician. We know that parents are an important part of student success, and we want to acknowledge the support and contributions of Elizabeth's parents, Gerardo Vasquez and Teresita Diaz. Please join me here in our digital gathering in recognizing valedictorian Elizabeth Vasquez. The next Board of Trustees Award is given to Cole Aedo. Cole graduates with an outstanding 4.54 GPA and has distinguished himself through his academic accomplishments and intellectual curiosity. He was a founding member and vice president of the Rocket Club, as well as a founding member and team captain of the Quiz Bowl team. He was a mentor for the Guided Studies program for 2 years and helped start the Homework Club. During his junior year, he ran a lecture series at Los Nietos Middle School, which aimed to inspire children to go into STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. During his summers, he participated in the Johns Hopkins Center for Talented Youth, as well as the Summer Science Program, where he conducted research that was submitted to the Smithsonian Institute. Scoring in the top 4% in the nation on the PSAT exam, Cole earned distinction as a National Merit Commended Student. But I should mention he is not only gifted intellectually, but athletically as well, and played on both soccer and track teams at Serna. Cole attended the California Institute of Technology, commonly known as Caltech, in the fall, where he will major in astrophysics with a long-term goal of research and teaching at the university level. Cole's parents, Gino and Leslie Aedo, made all of this possible through their continued support throughout his high school years, and we congratulate them as well. Ladies and gentlemen, valedictorian Cole Aedo. Our next recipient is Isabella Angulo. Like Cole, Isabella earned an impressive 4.54 grade point average in the most rigorous courses available. Her parents, Marino and Sandra Angulo, contributed to her success, and our district expresses its appreciation to them as well. Thank you both. In addition to Isabella's outstanding achievements in the classroom, she also served as a 2-year mentor, providing guidance and support for classmates. Isabella was a 4-year athlete on the girls' varsity basketball team that earned the title of league champions this year. She was also selected as president of the California Scholarship Federation and served as publicity chair for the National Honor Society. Isabella founded the SAVE Promise Club, that's for Students Against Violence Everywhere, the Save Promise Club, and was elected as the Lucerna High School representative for the Girls State Model Government Program. As a scholar athlete, Isabella challenged herself with 36 semesters of honors and advanced placement coursework while earning perfect scores. In the fall, she will attend UCLA, majoring in biology with a minor in Chicano studies. The Board of Trustees is proud to recognize Lucerna valedictorian Isabella Angulo. The next valedictorian to be honored is Samantha Lim, who achieved a grade point average of 4.48 during her 4 years at Lucerna, completing 34 honors and advanced placement courses. Samantha has excelled in all of her academic studies and distinguished herself as a multi-talented student leader. She served as editor-in-chief of the student publication, earning life membership in the Quill and Scroll Society. Samantha was a member of the girls' varsity golf team for 3 years and a varsity captain for 2 of those years, earning the Del Rio League champion title each year. She was a member of the National Honor Society and served as its secretary while becoming a lifetime member of the California Scholarship Federation, CSF. But again, our students have a wide range of experiences and skills. Samantha was first violin in the Whittier Area Youth Orchestra and served as historian on the Youth Orchestra Music Council. Samantha also served as link crew leader for 2 years. During her last 4 summers, she served as intern editor at Koran Progressive, a political newspaper located in Jakarta, Indonesia. There, she traveled and was mentored by some of that nation's most acclaimed journalists. In the fall, Samantha will be attending University of California, Berkeley, and will be double majoring in history and legal studies. Following her time at Berkeley, she plans to attend law school with the intention to become a criminal law attorney. We know that her parents and extended family have much to do with Stephanie's achievements and want to acknowledge her parents, Carmelia Tan Ward and Ronald Ward as well. Valedictorian Samantha Lim. To wrap up our virtual awards presentation, the Board of Trustees is pleased to honor Caitlin Nye. Katie, as she is known, has excelled in all of her academic studies at Lucerna and unselfishly devoted her 4 years to the service of the school community. Katie has been a tremendous influence on the positive culture at Lucerna High School, earning an equally remarkable 4.47 grade point average while completing 34 semesters of honors and advanced placement coursework. As Lucerna's ASB president, she modeled how to be a servant leader and how to build a culture of kindness and support for all students and staff. In addition to leading the student body, she was a member of the varsity song team, vice president of National Honor Society, vice president of Key Club, a lifetime CSF member, a National Merit Commended Scholar, and an AP Distinguished Scholar. That's quite a list. Katie also volunteered with Maddie's Closet, helping children with cancer diagnoses, and she served as the president of their junior advisory board. As a talented actor, she was in multiple Lucerna theater productions. Katie completed with an impressive 4.47 GPA. She will be attending UCLA in the fall with a double major in biochemistry and psychology, with a career goal to become a forensic scientist for the FBI. We're grateful to her parents, Ron and Debbie Nye, for their continued contributions to Katie's success. Ladies and gentlemen, valedictorian Caitlin Nye. To conclude this presentation, I'm reminded of the words of an African-American philosopher and advocate for equity, Malcolm X, who once said, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." The students we honor here are holding that passport in their hands. and we are all proud and delighted to honor that accomplishment.
I want to start off by congratulating you for all the hard work you have done for the last 4 years at Serna High School. We have come a long way since our first days of becoming a Lancer and have all of you to thank for supporting us and guiding us through each chapter of our lives. However, after our celebration today, there are still problems in this world that we have the power to change. This pandemic is seen as something that destroyed our senior year and destroyed the lives of many, but it also left us a gift. We, the class of 2020, have so much power to show a new way of thinking, to educate ourselves, older generations, and to bring in new generations with a brighter view of the world. We see beyond the boundaries that divide humanity. We accept the differences within ourselves. We believe all dreams are valid, and we can make an impact that can change the world. I believe that we will make a future that will accept everyone, no matter their background, race, how they identify themselves, or who they choose to love. We are not our past, we are not our mistakes, and we are certainly not going to stay quiet. We create our own futures. All of the events each and every one of us have gone through has shaped us into who we are. Our hunger, passion, determination, and willingness to take action in society is what sets us apart from the other generations. We have a voice, and we get to use it, and that is the gift that this time is leaving us. An artist named Salvador Dali once said, "Intelligence without ambition is a bird without wings." We have the power to use our intelligence to better ourselves, older generations, and society as a whole. We are just getting started with our lives. And to all the events that have been happening around the world, I want to say thank you. Thank you for proving that we are stronger than we could have ever imagined. Thank you for showing us our compassion and, most importantly, our humanity. Life can seem so unpredictable, but our future is not. Our ambition, our dreams, and our choices is what will create our future. No one takes away your dream unless you let it go. Hold it, hold your dreams, and hold your happiness. But above all, trust the journey. Serna Class of 2020. We are change, we are fair, we are the future, we are here, and most importantly, we are loved.
Esteemed administrators, beloved parents, and my fellow graduates, welcome. Today is the day. We are graduating. For many of you, today's celebration is one of great anticipation. Today is the day you eagerly spread your wings and soar to unbounded territories with a newfound sense of freedom. For others, today is one of sorrow. It is the day you say goodbye to lifelong friends, family, and the only world you've known for the past 4 years, high school. But for all of you, today is a day we all believed would never come. In the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, our senior year, as well as the senior years of millions of high school seniors across the country, were abruptly ended. We endured a collective loss not only as a class, but as a nation. However, if there is one thing that we have learned from this unprecedented event, it is that nothing in life is promised. Nothing, not schools, not sports, not celebrations, not even life itself is a guarantee. And although we have learned this truth the hard way, we have unearthed a newfound appreciation for life because of it. So, to the class of 2020, make every day count. Let us be the class who lives with purpose, drive, and passion, who takes risks and changes often. Let us be the class who speaks not for themselves, but for those without a voice. Let us be the class who has not only overcome adversity, but has stood taller because of it. Let us be remembered as the most resilient, compassionate, and highly motivated class to have ever walked the halls of Serna High School. As I remember our class, I don't see teammates, classmates, or even friends. I see a family. And whether you are an athlete or a mathlete, whether you are a musician or a magician, and whether you are the next fashionista or the next Oprah, remember your time here at Serna. Together we have endured years of late night studying, long practicing, and plenty of ole-laying, but we have finished victoriously. For each of you have earned the right to be here today. As we each embark on our own distinct journeys, stay true to the person who has already accomplished so much, for this is only the beginning. How far we have come is nowhere near how far we will go. Our tomorrow starts today. So, to the class of 2020, I hope that as our future draws nearer, you will each spread your wings with an undying confidence, soar high amidst an emerging blue sky of opportunity, and lay the foundations for your future. There are no guarantees in life, so live every day like it's your last. Thank you.
Greetings, Serna staff, faculty, loved ones, and who we're all here for, the class of 2020. We were brought into the world after 9/11, and we go out into the world as young adults during a global pandemic. I admit, we have lost much. Our prom, last sports seasons, final high school memories with each other, and so much more. A lot of us had things we planned to do during the last 3 months of high school. Whether it was finally going to a dance, asking that cute girl or guy out, sitting in the Kingdom, our student section at games, or going to grad night. But what the loss of those 3 months has taught me is to always live in the present. You can't guarantee that things will always go the way you want in life, as we all learned the hard way finishing our senior year online. Yes, it's okay to reminisce, and it's normal to feel sad, but we need to focus on what we do have and what we've learned from all of this. We will emerge as the strongest class the world has ever seen because our life experiences will have shaped us. Life has never been simple for us. We were born into post-9/11 America, witnessed the economic recession of 2008, and are now figuring out how to deal with the global pandemic while still trying to figure out who we are as individuals. But we have gained resilience and learned how to deal with all of that, even if it hasn't always felt like we knew what we were doing. When faced with the pandemic, we didn't give up and say, well, I guess we can't do school anymore. Instead, we took school online and made the most out of our Zoom calls to prepare for AP exams and gain our last bits of life advice from teachers. And we will continue to stay strong when faced with adversity in the future. As we enter a new chapter in life, I ask that we remember the lessons we learned in the past 4 years and appreciate what we have before it's gone. Appreciate the smiles you get from people around you, the teachers that take time to teach you so you don't have to teach yourself, and that you're all here today, having survived COVID-19, the first global pandemic in over a century. The most important lesson we could have learned from quarantine is not an academic one. That lesson is that life is truly unpredictable, and that's okay because we can and will adjust to whatever life throws at us. Class of 2020, we are strong, and we will carry these lessons with us for the rest of our lives. As future doctors, lawyers, teachers, mothers, fathers, and whatever other greatness lies in the future for each and every one of you, Class of 2020, I wish you the best.
Will the graduates of Serna High School, Class of 2020, please stand? And will Mr. Leighton Anderson please join me at the podium?
Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald, Principal of Serna High School, for your certification of this year's graduating class. In accordance with the provisions of the California Education Code and the graduation requirements adopted by the Board of Trustees, it is now my pleasure on behalf of the Board of Trustees to award the high school graduation diploma of the Whittier Union High School District to each member of the Class of 2020 of Serna High School. The award of diplomas will follow immediately. Your diploma represents the ability and willingness of each of you to expand your horizons and to gain the skills necessary to reach your individual goals. We wish each of you every future success while asking you always to remember your school and your classmates wherever life may take you. Congratulations, graduates.
As principal of Serna High School, I, Ann Fitzgerald, certify that each and every student standing before you has met the requirements for graduation as established by the State of California and the Board of Trustees of the Whittier Union High School District, and hereby presented for graduation. Mr. Anderson, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Serna High School's Class of 2020.